Yeah boy, yeah boy, yeah boy. Welcome to Watch Me Build It. Have you been thinking about getting into watch building? Have you watched some of my videos and some of the videos that are on YouTube and on the internet and said to yourself, well, that's something I'd really love to do? I've got really good news for you. Your time has come. When you're getting into something new, you really want to get the advice of people who know what they're doing and who have your best interests at heart. Namoki are one of the foremost suppliers of modding parts in the world, and they're really keen to help people enter into this hobby. And they are launching an initiative at the moment. I'm bringing you information on this initiative that is so fresh and so new that they don't even know what the pricing is on what they're about to offer. But they want you to know about it right now so that you can get prepared and get ready. And so what's happening is this. Namoki have put together a set of tools for a beginner watchmaker, as well as a watch part bundle that is sufficient to build an entire watch with. And they're going to sell the tool and parts bundle together to help you to build your first watch. In this video, I'm going to review the parts that are going to be used, and I'm going to review the tool set that they've put together so that you can know what's coming down the line. There's going to be a link in the video below, and if you sign up with that link, they'll put you on a wait list. Not only are you going to be getting the tools and the parts bundled together at a really good price, but if you're on the wait list, you'll get a 15% discount when the pricing finally does become available. They've told me that the watch and the parts will be ready to ship by the end of September. I'm making this video early in August. And so there's about 7 weeks between now and when they'll ship these goods. So today's video is kind of the unboxing and the look into the parts and the tools that are going to be used. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a build video. I've got the parts in my hand now. I will do a build video, a step-by-step tutorial, so that when you receive your parts late in September, you'll be able to click on the video that I make and literally watch a step-by-step video on how to put your parts together. So if you've been wanting to get into this, now's the time.
Okay, so what is in the bag?
So this is the starter pack that Namoki are going to be offering. I will do a review of the toolkit and what comes in the toolkit, but then in the rest of the packages are all that you will need to build your first watch. So what we have over here, it's a beautiful waffle strap made of rubber. It's got beautifully packaged. The spring bars are separate. These two are held apart from one another in two separately sealed compartments. These really are great straps. They were popular, I think it was in the 60s and 70s, and good dive watch straps. And so that's the strap that's going to come along with it. Then what is in the tin? Let's go with this first. So tin number one, this is coming as part of their starter kit. Now, I'm very encouraged by this. What this is here, that is a stem for an NH35 movement, but it is short. It is short because it has been cut to size.
So as a beginner watch builder, this is a breath of great relief. Cutting your stem to size is one of the fiddliest and most nerve-wracking moments of building a new watch. Namoki have taken the nerves away. They've cut the stem to size. We've got the case back, and this, by the looks of things, is their slimline black PVD coated case back. Let's have a look at the hands first, shall we? This is the kind of their old style hands packaging. And it looks like, oh great, it's a stealth build. Look at that. So it's the stealth Mercedes hands. So the brass that you can see is the underside of the hands. They've got black loom, and then if we flip them over, you can see the hands are black with black loom, black on black. It's going to be a great build. I'm excited, Namoki. Right, great news, great news. Wow, okay. So this little ring over here, that's the case back gasket. It's going to go into the recess that is custom designed to take it. You can see that deep groove. That's going to take the gasket. It gives the waterproof value. And this is Namoki's field watch case. It's a beautiful piece of machinery. And if you have a look at it, just the features, it's got vertical brushing on the sides of the case. Then the bezel's great because look at that. The bezel has a high sheen edge on the bevel, but then a linear brush on the top face. And that gives it really a nice bit of style, bang, and pizzazz. That's the case that comes along with the set. Then let's see, what have they provided in terms of the dial and the other bits and pieces. Right, we've got the dial and we've got the movement in here. Right, there we go. A Seiko NH35, automatic movement. The real deal. There we go. The movement that is the heart of mechanical watch democracy in the world at this moment in time. Right. And then what have we got here? We've got part number 80059. And there it is. So there it is. It's the stealth subby dial. And it's got a date window that's perfectly cut out for the NH35 movement. I love this. It's got the depth rating printed in red. Big deal, that. So this build is going to look amazing. A stealth build. The crystal is already inserted. There's no chapter ring in this build. This is a marvelous, marvelous first time builder's kit. And I can't wait to build this with you. Can't wait to show you the finished product. Just to say, first up, this is this sort of a case is what you would expect on a toolkit that you bought off of AliExpress. So they're ubiquitous. They're used for watchmaking toolkits, and they're very handy because they're robust. They're made of nylon. They've got a zip up. They're very easy to use. Even got a hang tag to carry if you want to. Okay, so let's have a look and see what comes in the Namoki toolkit. So first of all, Namoki like to help you with a sticker. There's a thank you card and an international warranty. I doubt their repair tools carry a warranty, but perhaps they do. I will confirm and see and make a little note on the screen if that is the case. Okay, so my kit has sort of shuffled around a little. So the first thing we've got over here is a little puffer. These are profoundly helpful for blowing dust away, specifically dust off of your dial, dust out of the inside of the case. You never want to blow dust off with your mouth because your mouth has saliva in it. And the last thing you want is a drop of saliva on the inside of your crystal or on your dial. Ask me how I know. Okay, so there's a puffer. Now this is great. It's the first watchmaking toolkit I've seen with hand setting tools. That is really important. Normally you've got to buy these separately, and you know they come with the set. And if you're building a watch, these are indispensable. Now, what is really great about the Namoki set, look at this. Every tip is a different color. You're probably looking at our hand here, minute hand there, and then the brass is likely for second hand, but there are other options for second hands as well. So there we go. 3, and I think these are supposed to slide in likely over here. Obviously the bits had come out of place in transit. Then here we have something else that is indispensable. This is a case holder. So you'll see when I build the watch, usually I would put a cloth over this, the kind of polishing cloth that you clean your lenses with for your glasses. I would put a cloth over that, but this is great for holding your case when you need to put things inside. Yeah, so there we go. There's a case holder. Here's something else I like, Rodico. You've got a micro piece of Rodico. Truth is, when you're building a watch, you don't need more Rodico than this. When you buy Rodico, you get more, but you don't never use a whole slab of Rodico. You just slice pieces off. So that is really great. I'm glad they thought of that. Then this is indispensable. I've never seen this in a starter kit before. That's a bit of pegwood. Pegwood is really important when building. What I like is they've got a sharpened end and they've got a flat end. And you do use both, depending on the part that you're holding down. But having a piece of pegwood with a sharpened end and a flat end is a really, really great tool in a tool set. Then this over here is a really robust spring bar tool. This is for installing and removing spring bars. This is a really good one, nice and big. And you've got an angled piece over here. I don't know that I've ever used one of these or needed to use it, but I'm sure there are places where you can use it. If I'm not mistaken, these look like they are removable, which means if you're able to get replacement ends, that's not a bad idea. Oh, and look there, they're multi-purpose. So that would be if you're wearing a watch like that one with drilled lug holes, you would put it in that way around so that you are able to remove the spring bar that way. Right, then what is this guy? This is a case back remover. And it works on case backs that have indents in them, and I think all of the Namokis have got those. And then what you do is you widen, or you can see it's adjustable. So this one's going to move, they both move. Can you see that? So you adjust them to the distance between the indents, and then you use it. Well, you would actually hold your case in the case holder, lightly keep it on the table, press down and undo or tighten your case back. What else do we have? What else do we have? Oh, great, look there. You've got finger cots. These are miniature covers for the ends of your fingers to stop you from getting grease all over your build. Really handy to have these in a beginner pack. Again, something you don't often get. Personally, I don't use finger cots because I've got thick, fat fingers, and the finger cots cut the circulation off. So I just buy surgical gloves. Get ones without the powder because you don't want to leave the powder on the inside of your build. But good to have those inside of the build kits as well. This is great. This is a Bergen, it's a dial protector for when you are removing hands. Now I see they've got hand removal tools here as well. And the idea is that you slide these between the hands and the dial before you remove the hands. Great. Again, never seen one of those in a starter kit. Then we've got a set of tweezers over here. Importantly, they're protected on the nib because it's a very fine nib. What I want to take a look at is just, yeah, these are high precision. You see how that the points really, they connect really well. There's good pressure on them. It's a great set of tweezers. You don't need hundreds of sets of tweezers. One high quality set of tweezers and you are A for away. So there's the set of tweezers. Then these are hand removal tools. I'm interested to see in practice what the quality is like on these. I've had some where those tangs actually just break off really easily. So we'll see how they work out, but they look really good. And the way that these work is, and you'll see them in later builds, you would get them beneath the set of hands, and then you lever from both sides and you lift the hands off. You need to be careful when using these. I will, when I do the build, show what I prefer to use for hand removal, so that you don't break any pivots. I don't suppose you would break with these, but these are an acceptable and respectable set of hand removal tools. And then finally, you've got screwdrivers of three different widths. You don't need more than that. And yeah, just by the looks of things, I don't know the actual widths, but if I knew my colors better, I know that for the most part, I use red and I use black. So those two over there, it's probably like a 0.8 and a 0.6 mil. And then I think this might be a 1 mil. But by and large, you don't go bigger than these. Something I'm just checking here is a lot of the cheaper screwdrivers, you find the bit is loose. If that is the case, there is a screw over there. You simply put it back in place. You tighten that screw with another screwdriver and you're A for away. So there it is, the Namoki beginner watch building tool set. My initial thoughts, the quality is on par with the beginner sets that you might buy from other places. I think where Namoki have distinguished themselves is the fact that this set is compiled thoughtfully. So things like finger cots, Rodico, a bezel removal tool, hand removal tools, hand setting tools, pegwood, and a Bergen dial protector. These are not normal in the beginner tool sets, and they are critical for a good watch build. So they've distinguished themselves by showing they're actually thinking about you, the watchmaker. They're thinking about what you're going to need, and they've made sure they've included that. And finally, before you pull the trigger on your shopping cart, I would recommend a few extra bits that you buy. Now, I've got the cheap version of this. Namoki have got the Bergen version of this. But this really is a gasket lubricating kit. And it's really good just to ensure that your gasket doesn't shear when you're tightening your case back, and also to enhance the waterproof capacity of the watch. So I would recommend you put one of those in your cart. This is a casing cushion. Namoki have got two versions of this. They've got an affordable version and they've got a luxury version. You can decide which one you can afford, but this is really helpful in the building of the watch. I mentioned the movement holder. That's what a movement holder looks like. The movement slides snugly into this holder, and it makes the assembly of the dial and the hands a lot easier, and I really do recommend that you get yourself one of those. Of course, a magnifying or a loupe, a magnifying glass, really, it's a loupe, is highly recommended. I'll give a link to the Namoki version of the loupe. Their version doesn't have this clip on it. I quite like this because it attaches to my glasses and it makes it really easy to use it. This is Loctite. You can pick this up at your hardware store. Namoki don't have this in their store, but get the weakest version of Loctite that you can. But you're really going to need this just to ensure that the crown remains fixed to the stem. And then finally, this is not critical, and Namoki don't sell this. I will put a link to some just watchmaker's oil. And this will be to oil the stem just before you slide it in. And then along with the oil, you can buy yourself some oilers. This is an example of an oiler. And an oiler is just a really thin piece of steel, but it has a shaped end and it helps to pick up the oil and apply it where it is needed. So those are a couple of items. They're not expensive, any of them. But I would recommend, if you're going to come along for the journey and build a watch with me, that you pick these up while you're at it. So are you with me? We're going to do this thing, right? Great. So here's what you do. Not only do you click on the link below, and that's going to set you up for one of what I think is one of the most well-considered beginners tool sets on the market. It's going to set you up for
a really high quality selection of parts with which to build a new watch. I've also recommended a couple of other tools like the movement cushion, the movement holder, the oilers, the oil, the gasket greaser. I've recommended that you add those into your basket because you're going to use those things again and again because you're becoming a watch builder. And let's do this thing. And I'm looking forward to the time at the end of September. I'll have the video up in time for you. Your parts will arrive and you can put aside a couple of hours and build your very own first watch. Something I do know is this: Namoki don't make junk. So the parts that they've supplied really are premium. You know they're high quality. You know they're going to fit. You know they're not going to fail. And that all means you're going to enjoy the process and you're going to enjoy the product. So come along on this journey. Let's do this thing together. And I look forward to helping you build it. And see you in September. Cheers.